All that begins have an end, but not all things lost returns. Somewhere, deep inside a great nothing, there is a beautiful sky with clouds, and in the middle there once existed three powerful triangles, one red, one blue, and one green. They were the guardians and rulers of this world, and possessed great powers that some believe were even greater than magic. Perfect harmony and peace existed for thousands of years, until one day the triangles disagreed and became mad with anger. A war broke out, and the entire world around them was decimated as they struck each other back and forth with violent energy never seen before. Only one triangle survived, the blue one. The green and the red were destroyed, and their energy blown out of the world, banished into dark space, where it was doomed to wander powerlessly forever, without an end of time. Battered and unsure what to do, the blue triangle began to rebuild the world around it as it once existed. But it failed many times. It simply could not build with what was left. And so, with its last energy, it created several portals through which it began to steal building blocks from the known universe. Here on Earth, one of these gateways became known as the Bermuda Triangle. But there were many more, in different sizes and in different parts of our universe. Many things began to disappear. However, in the Triangle's world, time did not exist as it did to all living things. So lost things not only came from one period in time, but from many. The Triangle's portals could not differentiate between past, present, or future. They existed in all of time, and never knew of an end in time. One thing remained missing: life, as it once existed here. The Triangle was lonely, so it began targeting and stealing living things too from our universe. First captured were giant ships. Some sailed oceans, and some the stars. The Triangle knew that the thick hulls would protect the living on board as they passed through the portals. And so they all ended up adrift among the clouds, and the crews had to adapt to making their own ships their new permanent homes. These crippled ships became known as iron drifters. They turned red from all the rust while drifting through the misty rains of cloud space. The Triangle was generous and rewarded the crews for their obedience and good behavior. It created giant floating shells filled with pure water. They were all invited to drink from it, and their big ships redirected to orbit these drifting dams of the skies. One day the Triangle discovered that the inhabitants of one of these iron drifters had pumped almost all of their water into their own ship and had planned to escape back to the world where they came from. The Triangle became very angry and attacked all the drifting waters with powerful lightning that set it on fire. It continued to burn to this day and became known as Angry Water. But that was not all. The Triangle was so disappointed that it decided to end all life on these drifting ships and suck the crews out of them and made them fall into itself. Deep inside the blue fires of the Triangle's belly, the crews were digested and recycled into tiny black triangular stones that were forced back out and banished from the world of clouds. They formed rivers of stone that flowed through the clouds and into dark space, where they ended up lost forever, stripped of all energy, and cursed to become forever useless to any living thing. A long time passed, and the Triangle became lonely again. So it decided to try bring life back into its world. New inhabitants began to arrive, very slowly at first, and then many came, from all parts of the universe and from all time periods. Many settled on the drifting derelict ships and learned about the writings of the original crews who were long dead and gone. Some found secret maps of the Triangle's world, but few lived long enough to tell about it. Cloud space matured into a living world. Today, in its center, the Blue Triangle remains as the great ruler of its creation, and keeps a watchful eye on everything that exists in it, always ready to punish those who dare to disobey its laws or try to escape. For no one can ever leave the world of clouds. No one can return where they came from, and many have either forgotten who they were or die trying to get back.